Hello everybody, Skin Deep Beauty Vlogger here. I hope you're all really well. As you can probably tell by my appearance, today is going to be another first impressions video. And today I'm going to be reviewing the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation and powder. I'm a little late to the party in reviewing these, but I thought I'd give my 2 cents nonetheless. I don't usually wear powder, so it'll be interesting to see how I get on with this, unless it's a special occasion. But day to day, I tend not to bother. I don't feel that I need it with my Holy Grail HD foundation from Makeup Forever. And also, I like a dewy finish. You know, there's a difference between oily and dewy, but generally I don't feel that I need powder. So I'll be intrigued to see how I get on with this. And as for the foundation, I'm going to be reviewing the shade 130 Shell. It does look a little bit battered because I was sent this for review. In no way will that sort of impact my honest opinion. But there was a couple of shades in the packet, one of them broke and it got a bit sort of messed up. But you can see, well hopefully you can see, that the packet is still sealed. So this is a true first impressions review. So I'm just going to jump in and get started. I'm going to tie my hair back. All I've done is popped a bit of eye cream and moisturiser on and my usual lip balm that that's how I prep my skin for makeup on a daily basis. And I've got my mirror over here, so I'm going to start by applying the foundation. So, I think the packaging looks pretty chic. Now over in the UK we have testers in store, so I did pop into the shop and I think this shade may work. A lot of people have mentioned that this doesn't come with a pump. That is a massive downside for me. I think it's so incredibly lazy and profit-seeking of Revlon. I know that, as said, I'm going to give you my honest opinion. Like, how much is it really going to cost them to put a pump, you know, a cheap little plastic pump on top of that would make all the difference to the ease of application. It would probably cost them like a cent. You know, I just think it's really, really bad that they haven't included that. There's no obvious directions on it. I'm going to try not to pour out the entire bottle because I have absolutely no control over how this is dispensed. Oh gosh, it is quite liquidy as well. A lot more liquidy than I'm accustomed to, so another reason why a pump would be useful. I'm going to apply using my Sigma Round Kabuki F82 brush. I've got a bit of a hormonal breakout going on my chin, so we'll start by applying it around there, in the centre of my face. It smells quite nice. I mean, it's not sort of a discernible scent, it's just sort of quite fresh. The colour match is pretty good. For reference, I am a MAC NC 15 to 20, depending on the season. Probably an NC 15 at the moment. A lot of people had said that this was a light coverage, but I don't think it's too horrendous actually. I mean, it is light, but it's buildable. So far I quite like this. I have to say that I wasn't actually expecting to like it. It's had a lot of good reviews, but I do prefer a fuller coverage to what I was expecting this to give, but I like that it's quite buildable. It feels incredibly lightweight on the skin. I don't know that I would wear this for a night out necessarily. I'd probably prefer a bit more coverage for a night out, but, you know, or at least the security of a bit more coverage. Plus it's got an SPF, so if there was going to be flash photography on a night out, then this could cause flashback. I don't even really need to bring it down my neck too much because it is a really good colour match and I'm impressed. Okay, so on first impressions, really liking this so far. It was quick and easy to apply. It does give a better coverage than I was expecting. It's certainly buildable. It feels very lightweight on the skin. Fantastic colour match, really happy with that. And I quite like, it's got quite a glowing dewy finish as well. I don't know how well that's going to come across on the camera, but I really like that. So a nice sort of, this would be nice for a very sort of fresh face, sort of spring summer look, so I like it. I'm going to be applying powder, but because I use a cream concealer I'm going to just pop some of that on first. So I'm going to pop a little bit of concealer under my eyes and also on the spots on my chin. If you get spots on your chin then it's hormonal. I don't know if you knew that already, but thought I'd throw that in there. I'll just do that and then I'll pop back to apply the powder. Okay, so I've applied my concealer and now I'm going to go in with the Revlon Nearly Naked powder. This is the pressed powder in the shade 020, which is the light one. Let's see. It's a pretty bulky compact. It's quite large, so I mean I always carry a large handbag, but some people may, would have preferred a smaller size. Mine's actually broken in the mail as well when they sent the sample, so obviously most people aren't going to be getting this in the mail, but it might suggest that it's not the best for sort of carrying around in your handbag. It does come with a powder puff, which I think is a complete and utter waste of time. I don't like the cakey look that a powder puff gives anyway. I mean, I guess it's quite nice if you needed to do a touch-up on the go, but there's no... Oh, there is a mirror. And there is a mirror in the lid as well, so that's quite nice. Generally, I would have actually just preferred either a smaller compact or maybe for them to do, like the Physicians Formula does the packaging where it's got a lift-up section with the brush in it, so it's, okay, it might be a bit thicker, but it's more compact as in a smaller size. I'm not describing that very well. I'm not going to use that powder puff, as I said. I'm going to use a Revlon powder brush, which I thought would be fitting. I actually hate this brush, but I figured I'd use it. So I'm going to take a little bit of the powder. I'm just going to dust this down my T-zone, which is where I tend to get oily. I don't like a sort of very powdery look over the whole face. I'm really not used to using powder. Oh gosh, this is quite... I didn't expect this to have, even though it's got a shade number, I didn't expect it to have quite such a strong colour. I may have to take this all over my face, because the powder is running quite dark. I've also got some dry skin on my nose at the moment because I had to review some of those Biore pore strips for work this week. This stupid brush sheds like anything. I absolutely hate pore strips, and I think it's really sort of trashed the skin on my nose. I just don't think they're very good value for money either. I know they're cheap, but I mean, just spend your money on a good exfoliator. Not a peach stone exfoliator, but a decent exfoliator. Okay, I think I'm managing to buff this into the skin and it not look too cakey and it work even though it's a coloured powder. It'll be interesting to see, with this being a lighter coverage foundation, if, using the powder helps, because, I mean, I never really need to reapply during the day. I find my Makeup Forever HD is very long wearing. And I guess I would worry that with it being a lighter coverage, that the wear might not be as good. That kind of doesn't really make sense, but in my head, it's a fear that I would have. So, quite nice to try out the powder, and I will see how I get on with it. I'm going to go and apply the rest of my makeup, and I will pop back in a minute just to let you know how I felt that it applied and to do a quick time check, and then I will check in throughout the day. Okay, so I've applied the rest of my makeup. I've actually mainly gone for drugstore products today, and as I was applying the rest of my makeup I was sort of looking at this quite closely in the mirror, and I really do quite like the combination of these two. The only downside I have about the foundation so far is the packaging. The foundation itself I really, really like. The rest of my products applied in the same way as they normally would. Love the colour match of the foundation. Feels very lightweight on my skin. And yeah, I love the sort of glowy finish. The powder as well. I don't normally wear powder, but it really has left a very flawless finish to the skin. It doesn't look cakey, it feels lightweight on the skin, so I really appreciate that, because that can be a concern with powders. And I mean, I now have an oily T-zone, but I guess I've always avoided powders in the past, because as a teenager, for example, I had very dry skin, so I just never really got into powders, apart from like for a night out when I would maybe want a little bit of extra help, or to set concealer. The only downside with the powder is that I do think the colour is a little bit off. I think even though it's called Light 020, it is running a little bit darker than I would like. I have blended it out and managed to make it work, but that's just something to watch out for if you were buying this in these shops. I just wanted to give a quick mention to what I'm wearing on my lashes, and that is the Rimmel Scandaleyes Show Off Mascara. I really like this. The first couple of times I used it, I didn't like it at all, which is why I don't do first impression videos on mascaras. The reason being that it's very easy to not close the tube properly, and they kept catching me out, and I was like, oh god, I haven't closed it properly, it's going to dry out really quickly. It's got one of these plastic bristle brushes, and it's got this shape that is very popular with mascaras at the moment, you know, with the ball at the end. So it does definitely help to grab those smaller lashes on the inner corner and also give a nice precise application to the bottom lashes. This is one of the best mascaras I've found for giving a false lash effect without false lashes. It's really, really nice, really buildable. You have to watch out for a couple of clumps, but the plastic bristles are quite hard and they're quite long, so even though it might sort of start to clump up, you can comb them out. It's a little bit painful. I did find it dragged a little bit on the lashes. I think I'm just being a bit precious about that. Overall, I really, really like this, and I have worn it sort of for a full day and not noticed any flaking or smudging, nothing. So I would recommend this actually. I quite like it. The packaging's a little bit bulky, but I guess you could find it quickly in your makeup bag. It says that it gives scandalous defined volume, lift and length, which I agree. I think it does. So completely off the subject of this video, but I thought I would touch onto that just because I just used it. I also find that it holds a curl pretty well too. Okay, after all my rambling, I've been faffing around this morning, had some coffee and read the paper. The time now is 10:58, so I will check back in a few hours and let you know how I think this is wearing. So I'll see you in a bit. Hello everybody, it is 14:39, so it's been around 3¾ hours. I thought I'd check back in and let you know how I feel that the foundation and powder is wearing. I'm really, really impressed. I'm really liking both the foundation and the powder. I haven't noticed any oxidization. I feel that it's wearing very well. I was a little bit worried about how it would wear and the longevity of it, but I haven't noticed any patchiness, no oiliness is coming through. I'm really, really impressed. I like the way that the rest of my makeup is wearing as well. I think that using the powder has actually really helped to set my other products, such as my concealer, in place, and I really like it. I don't know why I don't use powder every day. I really should start using it. This could actually transform the way that I feel about powder. I'm really, really impressed. I don't really have a great deal more to add so far, so yeah, just thumbs up. The only bad thing I can say about this is the packaging and the lack of the pump dispenser on the foundation. So really, really enjoying it. I know that's not much of an update, but I'm just really happy and impressed. So I thought I would share those thoughts, and I will see you again in a bit. Hello everybody, it is coming back to 6:15. So I'm just checking in with the final thoughts on the Revlon Nearly Naked foundation and the Revlon Nearly Naked powder. Overall, I'm so impressed with this. I haven't really had any points to add throughout the day, which is why I only checked back in once and now this final sort of thoughts. Really impressed with the longevity. I haven't noticed any oiliness. It's starting to cling a little bit to sort of drier areas now as we're getting towards the end of the day. But to be honest, I actually think that it's lasted better, probably because I've layered those products with the powder as well as the foundation and my concealer, than my products would normally last. So I'm really, really impressed with the longevity. Just to give you a quick reminder of my skin type and tone, I have warm undertones. I am an NC 15 to 20 in MAC, probably more of an NC 15 at the moment. I'm pretty pale, and I have combination skin. So I've got an oily T-zone, and then I'm quite dehydrated on my sort of cheek area. So I'm going to read a few facts about the foundation and a little bit about the powder as well, to tell you what Revlon claims that this does, and then I'm going to say whether I agree that it delivers on those claims or not. So the points are mainly to do with the Nearly Naked foundation, and it says that it's an innovative formula packed with natural ingredients. It's not a natural foundation. I mean, you know, it may have natural ingredients in it, but it's certainly not a natural product. It contains green tea as a natural astringent. It both soothes and heals. Black tea, rich in antioxidants, vitamins E and C to help fight the signs of aging. Oatmeal contains skin-soothing and calming properties. I think I felt that it was quite soothing and, you know, felt nice to initially apply. And jojoba oil, which is an excellent moisturiser. That's true, it really is. If you don't know, jojoba oil is very similar sort of molecularly to the sebum that skin naturally produces, so it's a really good thing. It's a really good ingredient to look out for. You know, a lot of these foundations nowadays, they really do combine skincare with makeup benefits. People historically have always said, like, oh, you know, foundation is so bad for your skin, but that's kind of a thing of the past. As long as you remove it effectively, you won't really have any problems, and most foundations now do combine skincare benefits. Obviously, in a first impressions video, I can't really comment on those, so you're going to have to use this every day to really notice any effects. It says that it's formulated with weightless hollow silica pigments. The breakthrough Revlon Nearly Naked makeup balances skin and makeup so they work together, allowing the makeup to mimic skin's tone and texture. Hollow silica microspheres enable light to scatter and diminish the look of fine lines on the skin, while letting light through for a natural finish. This is known as the soft focus effect or optical blurring. A broad spectrum SPF 20 helps to protect the skin from further damage, and the best part, it truly feels as if you aren't even wearing makeup. So, what do I think of those claims? Well, firstly, all that long-winded spiel about silica, basically, it just means that this has got silicone in it, it should be long-wearing, and you may be able to get away without using a primer underneath it, which I certainly would agree with. I feel that, I don't know whether it's necessarily diminished the appearance of fine lines or anything, but it certainly helped it to it certainly helped with the longevity of this, I feel. I like that it's got SPF 20 in it. To be honest, this is still too light coverage for me to wear on a night out, so it doesn't really bother me that it's got SPF, which may cause flashback in photography. So to me, I think that the inclusion of SPF is a nice addition. You know, I wear SPF in my skincare every day anyway, but you can never have too much. And it's particularly good if you don't wear any SPF in your skincare, which you should be doing. But if you're not, then at least you're getting some sort of protection, although whether it's got a UV... Oh, it does say broad spectrum actually. That's encouraging. And I also agree with the fact that it feels very lightweight on the skin. It doesn't feel completely as though you're wearing absolutely nothing. Like, for example, I made a phone call earlier and I could feel, you know, when you get that feeling of your makeup between your face and the phone and it's sort of getting some transfer. I could definitely feel that, but to be honest, I feel that with any foundation, pretty much. So overall, I kind of feel that this does deliver on the claims, although I can't comment on the skincare benefits. Now, the main downside with this is definitely the packaging. I find that this is a little bit bulkier than it needs to be. I think it would be better if it was, say, like this size and then thicker, so it would still be bulky, but you know, if they really had to include that powder puff, which frankly it's a bit annoying, some people may find it useful. The glass bottle, it really annoys me that it doesn't have a pump, particularly because it is quite a liquid foundation, certainly more liquidy in formulation than I'm accustomed to. I do feel that because of this there would be some wastage. It's also a glass bottle, so just watch out for that if you travel a lot. I know that, as I said, mine looks really grubby because when this was mailed to me, another of the shades broke. Luckily this is my perfect shade anyway. I was really impressed with the colour match. I'm the shade 130 Shell. And that leads me on to the next point. Revlon are, for a drugstore brand, they're pretty good at offering a wide range of shades. The foundation is available in 10 shades and it ranges from ivory through to cappuccino, so there's not something for everyone, but most people would be able to find something that suited them. I mean, I'm the third palest shade, so I'm Shell. I think there's ivory and then, well, I'm not too sure what the one after it's called, beige or vanilla or something. I'm completely making that up. So just to give you an indication of just how pale this goes, and then cappuccino I think is one of the darker shades, so you know, there is something for most people. The shade range on the powder isn't quite so extensive. In a way I kind of feel like it doesn't need to be, because it's a powder, you're going to be quite light-handed with it, and it is blendable, more so than the foundation. Now I've got the light shade 020, which is the second lightest one. I think there's a fair shade before this, and then the darkest one is called Deep. And I found that this was darker than I was expecting. I certainly think that, considering this is the second lightest, it runs darker than the third lightest foundation, which seems really odd to me. Oh, unless maybe they're doing this to sort of correspond with shades 3 and 4 in the foundation, so that's why it's a little darker. That would kind of make more sense. Both felt very lightweight on the skin. I mean, I like the powder so much that it would almost convince me to start using powder on a daily basis. I really like it. It's very finely milled. The only downside was that the colour was slightly off, but you know, you'd probably make sure that that was right. Both of them feel very lightweight on the skin. I was impressed with the coverage of the foundation. I really was expecting it to maybe be like one up from a BB cream or a tinted moisturiser. Probably more a tinted moisturiser because some BB creams are quite good coverage. To be honest, I was expecting to hate this because I don't like light coverage. I have got some acne scarring. You know, at the moment I've got this hormonal breakout going on, and so I want a fuller coverage. My holy grail is the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I was expecting to hate this, but it's really, although it's a light coverage, it really is better than I was expecting, and it's certainly very buildable, so I really, really like it. And I was impressed with the colour match of the foundation. As I said, the powder is a little bit off on the colour match. And I'm really impressed with the longevity, and I don't know if it is just down to me layering the products. I watched a couple of other reviews and some people said that they found that the longevity of this wasn't so great, so maybe layering them really, really did help to prolong the longevity. It's been quite, what's it been, like 7 hours? So, you know, a normal work day. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I think it's probably better than I would normally experience in terms of longevity. And of course I haven't used a primer, I haven't used a setting spray, nothing, so that's really good. Final thoughts are just regarding the price. The foundation retails for £8.99 here in the UK and the powder is £7.99. I think that these are fantastic value for money. I'm so impressed. What's more, Revlon are always on 3 for 2 in Boots. This is definitely a rave review. I'm highly impressed. I'm normally very much a high-end girl when it comes to foundations. The only drugstore foundation that I've really gotten on with, and even then it's certainly not like perfect or holy grail for me, is the Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Foundation. I really like that. So, you know, despite all the rave reviews, I really didn't have high expectations with this, and I really am impressed. I can't recommend this highly enough. Do go out and buy this, and I would recommend both products. I think the powder has really surprised me. I really wasn't expecting to like this, just because inherently I don't like powders. And the foundation as well, I'm thrilled. Finally, I have got a powder in the shade Medium that was sent to me as well, which I'm going to give away. It's the wrong shade for me. I'm sorry that this isn't sort of something that everyone can use, but it is the shade Medium. So if you would like to be in with a chance to win this, the giveaway will be open internationally. You just have to be a subscriber of this channel. Give this video a thumbs up and then pop a comment down below saying which other first impressions videos you would like me to do. Just please don't put things like enter me because I don't want this video to get flagged as spam by YouTube. I'm not 100% sure what the closing entry date is going to be, so just check in the info bar below and I will let you know. For an extra entry, just send me a tweet saying that you would like to be entered, and good luck! Thank you so much for watching and I will see you all soon. Bye!